YouTube is
YouTube's running.
Kasey, you want me to call in just to make sure it works?
You know, it's interesting. Us and Colquitt County have the exact same fight song.
Really?
Yeah. It's on Wisconsin. Yep. All right, let's see here. We got YouTube going. We got Facebook going. And we are rolling. Good evening and welcome to SwarmCast number 3. Randy Young here, joined tonight by, of course, the great one himself, Jamie Majors over here to my right, to your left. Bryce Young. Daddy Dumpling.
Not Bryan Davis.
Daddy Dumpling.
Not Bryan Davis. And let me say, this is the real Bryce Young, right here. Not the one that plays for Carolina or played for Alabama.
Absolutely.
This is the real one, and he's got a jersey to prove it. I'm just saying. But Bryce is joining us tonight as Brian's got some stuff he's got to take care of on the home front. We got Kasey Massey, the tech master, back there making sure that we are rolling along. And it's time to kick it off. We've got Monroe, the Golden Tornadoes, coming to the Jackets Nest tomorrow night to kick the 2024 season off, and we're all very excited about it. And, of course, I know you guys out there are as well. If you're watching on Facebook, share this on your page and share it with friends. If you're watching on YouTube, you can copy the link and share it if you want to. And we'll be taking your questions and comments. We've got several things here tonight that we're going to be doing. We got Justin Rogers, of course, is going to call in at the bottom of the hour. We have the right equipment tonight to be able to field the phone call without putting him on speakerphone and hollering at him from across the room. We're going to do the Yellow Jacket flashback, which I'm kind of looking forward to. We're going to go back to what I think is the greatest opening game in Thomas County Central history. It was interesting. I was talking to Danny Dukes earlier, and Danny goes back further than I go back, and I go back a long way. And Danny, I was telling him what we were going to do and told him which game it was, and he agreed. So we're going to do that every week during the season. We're going to go back and look at a great moment from Yellow Jacket football history. And we're also going to have a pick'em section tonight where we've got Bryce has picked some games out, some unbelievable games.
Ought to be a good debate.
Would it be, should we go ahead and throw those out there so they can kind of be thinking and maybe text or commenting on there?
Oh, we can.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
All right, so if you want to make a prognostication, which
good word
for Kasey means a prediction for the Auburn people in the room.
Hey, now. Let Justin call in and let's see what happens.
Yeah, you're right. Justin's an Auburn guy too. So, but if you want to make your prediction on these games, you can go ahead and write them up and put them online, and we'll talk about them and share them. All right, Bryce, what are they?
All right. Let's see here. We got Thomasville Brooks, Coffee County, Bainbridge, Warner Robins versus Lee County, Carrollton versus Woodward. All to sound very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Buford versus Milton.
Golly.
What some
Brooks
great
one's
games
gonna-
out the gate, right?
That Brooks one's going to be good.
Yeah, Thomasville and Brooks ought to be pretty good. I mean, all
Brooks
of
is
those.
pretty good this year from what little footage I've seen.
Yeah, they
Okay.
held Tift County scoreless, and Tift County's got athletes all over the place. We saw them during the summer at our place.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of talk about it.
All right, so Thomasville Brooks, Lee Warner Robins, Bainbridge and Coffee, then Milton and Buford, and then Carrollton and Woodward Academy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good. That Milton and Buford game, there's 21 D1 commits that are going to be on the field playing between those two schools. 21 D1 commit. That's a record.
Buford has, if they all sign, they have 10 Power 4. I guess it's Power 4 now instead of Power 5.
Yeah.
Power 4 signees or guys that's going to commit.
Well, and Milton has 11.
And,
that between the
crazy,
junior and senior class, that's insane.
Yeah, that's insane.
Whit is saying hello on Facebook, and let me tell you,
Whit.
Okoye Rawls, which is Whit's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is going to be the senior interview on the tailgate show tomorrow night.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, he did a real good job. That's really cool. And what's even cooler for me is that Jaden Rubo is the one that did the interviewing with him and Josie Walden. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool.
That's going to be good to listen to.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you've got your thoughts on any of those games, share them, and we will be more than happy to discuss it. And we'll see what the consensus is. Of course, Thomas County Central is a big favorite against Monroe. And I've had some folks today asking about what we know about Monroe, and we'll talk about that here tonight, and we'll get some insight from Coach Rogers when he calls in. Monroe is Monroe. They're very athletic. They've got a lot of speed, and they are one of those teams when they feel like they can beat you, you got trouble. It's a matter of not letting them believe they've got a shot.
Yep.
So getting out of the gate quick, kind of taking care of your business early,
absolutely, is
going to be very important. And it's always been that way with them.
It's always been that way, even when I played them back in the late 80s. If you let them believe, I promise you, the saying was, if you let them believe,
they do.
We'll be in a
and we've seen it.
Fight, and it's it's somebody that we've actually gotten really acquainted with over the summer.
Yeah.
We done several 7-on-7 leagues with them. They're extremely athletic, but I think the difference is the line of scrimmage. When you're doing 7-on-7s, there's no pass rush.
Right.
So, you do have a clock that you got to get the ball thrown before a clock runs out, but it's just a different story when you got Cam Brooks running after you.
Yeah, that would make a difference.
It would for me, but
it would for anybody, unless you're Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder. I mean, that's a little bit different, but just saying.
Or if you're trying to throw the ball and D-Reddick's back there.
That
or
too.
Something like that.
Well,
gosh, man.
Before we get any further, let's thank the good folks at Dairy Queen.
Absolutely.
The DQ.
I got the Blizzard of the week.
Yeah, the Jamie Maters Blizzard of the week. Now
it's almost gone, so it's
Mine is
pretty
gone.
good.
Hurry it up.
Casey's already done his over with, and he didn't pour it down his audio mixer this week. Which is
Let me just go ahead and throw it out there. It's the chocolate
truffle
pecan truffle, and it is amazing. You won't never see me turn one down.
You said it's got like
it's
toffee
got like
in it?
toffee in it.
Yeah.
Like a Heath bar?
It just gives you that little salty sweet.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Nice.
You need to just go up there and just say, hey, I want the Jamie Blizzard of the week.
Now, based on the other ones that you've had up to this point, how is this one ranked pretty high?
It's right there with them.
Okay.
I'm not going down any of them. Now, last week, that was pretty sweet.
Now,
Yeah,
that was the frosted animal cookie.
Frosted animal cracker.
Good
gracious.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
But the toffee makes this very unique.
Okay.
So you could put toffee in that other one, and I bet it would be with the crackers and help
Man.
balance off.
Now that's a thought.
Don't even
balance
start.
out.
Hey, I'll tell you a good one.
Don't even start.
Peanut butter cookie dough.
I've already got the first week we had the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
And cookie
It's good now.
Yep.
It's good now.
Yep. That was Reese's Pieces cookie dough.
Yes.
That first one.
And it was awesome.
That other one, they'll just put like, I guess the peanut butter powder in it, and it's just,
Yeah, it's more like a nutty butter.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
The Nutter Butters.
Nutter butters.
I'll have another Nutter
butter with some milk.
There you go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And
pretty good.
but DQ.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all for.
Yes, thank you.
And these are awesome. And
Yep.
Greg and the staff up there does a great job. And go by there and get you a hamburguesa
And a Blizzardo.
and a Blizzardo.
Oh my gosh.
As Snoop Dogg would say.
Greg is watching his laughing.
Yeah, Greg's laughing. So again, let me give you the list of games one more time. If you want to make a comment or a prediction.
Could Kasey somehow, the tech master, could he somehow get them?
Now we can see them here now.
Put them up on the screen.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Hey,
Thomasville and
We'll
Brooks.
keep adding things. maybe.
Thomasville and Brooks. That one's easy as far as remembering it.
Yep.
Coffee and Bainbridge. That's pretty interesting. Warner Robins and Lee. Carrollton and Woodward Academy. And then Buford and Milton. And if you want to give a thought on any of those, there's a couple of thoughts that folks are making on YouTube,
Okay.
there will be a 30th anniversary reunion of the 94 state champions for the Bainbridge game. So you can go ahead and put that on your calendars. That will happen in a handful of weeks, but that will be for the 94 state championship.
The year I was born, if you want to feel old.
And I promise you this.
Here we go.
That bunch will argue with you now about that 94 defense against last year's defense.
And I understand
I know
that.
you've already made the case.
I understand that. And I will say this. In the playoffs, that 94 defense was the best defense I've ever seen. In the playoffs. Now, the regular season, they gave up a bunch of points to Worth County at the end of the year. They gave up some points to some other guys. I mean, they lost 3 games through the course of the season.
That's right.
Now.
But buddy, when they locked it in.
Well, anytime when you're playing in the playoffs and you've outscored your opponents 172-21 in 5 games.
And I'll tell you, man,
What?
The most devastating defensive lineman or whatever you want to call him, LaShawn Christopher, was one of the best I ever
The
seen.
beast. The beast.
Yeah, LaShawn, if you out there listening, buddy, man, I'm telling you.
I still contend that of all the players that we have had come through this program, he is the one guy I never saw anybody block. They couldn't. They couldn't. He physically – you know who you reminded me of now that I think about it? Remember that guy that played for Lee, Aubrey Samuel?
Oh, yeah.
Or Aubrey Solomon?
Solomon, yeah.
God. Tell me if I'm lying. Very
You are-
similar.
he's
Very similar.
I tell you, I brought a guy that come up from Daytona Beach to the football game. We're playing Cairo.
Yeah, Ray Torrey was a great one too now.
Oh, no
As
doubt.
far as linebackers go, we're talking about the defensive linemen now, though. Just
so
to be clear.
we walk in, and I keep telling him, I said, we got this defensive lineman he's pretty good. I said, man, he said, well, how's he going to stick out? I said, when they come out, you just tell me when you see him. So they busted a run through, and he looks at me, and he says, oh, my God. I said, that's him.
Yeah, yeah. He was special.
And he played his tail off.
Well,
man, I'm telling
when
you.
we played Dalton in McConkey, Benji McConkey, who was Lad McConkey's dad.
That's right.
Was the quarterback for Dalton. They were undefeated, and we ended up winning 31-7. And the 7 was a scoop and score on our first series, if you remember that.
First series.
But from that point on, it was pretty well over.
But I remember the one play that I remember the most was Dublin having a 4th and 1
In the state championship game?
the state championship game, and they had Ryan Taylor,
Yep.
and they had put him in the backfield.
Went to Auburn.
I mean, a
War
stud,
Eagle.
absolute
He was
stud.
great.
They pitched the ball to him, and LaShawn Christopher run him down from the backside and tackled him in the backfield.
Yep. Very similar to
So-
what happened with Burke County in '97 with Ray Torrey,
Absolutely.
with the running back that ran a 4.2840.
Yep.
Broke out into the left side over there along the visitor sideline, running toward Jackson Street, and nobody around him, and all of a sudden, this 6'3", 225-pound missile chases him down from behind. That was Ray Torrey Newkirk.
I really believe that those players like that, we really never see how good they really are.
Yeah.
Because they only play as good as they have to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Anyway, fantastic memories. And, again, whenever you start it was very interesting last night. I don't know if those of you that are on Facebook, Joe Burns, of all people, made a post where he said that he was going to list his Mount Rushmore of the 4 greatest running backs in Central history. And the 4 he listed, Terry White from the 70s,
Absolutely.
Steve Fleming,
Flam.
who was pretty doggone good,
He was awesome.
Johnny Cooksey, who was pretty doggone good, and then Adam Choice.
But the
of
thing
course-
about it is I didn't see the man on there.
Which one?
Joe Christopher. I'm Joe.
Joe Burns?
Joe Burns.
Yeah. Well, and 2, it's like I told Joe, how were you – DeBrell Smiley?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of immediately.
Joe, that's too hard to build a Rushmore with what we've had.
Let's
to
go
watch.
ahead and put 6 faces up there, and then have some little faces on the backside for guys like Jabbar Dunbar,
Oh man,
Moses Cochran,
Smokey.
Smoke Dawson.
It just
Willie Robinson from back in the 70s.
I mean, we had backfields that had almost
Trey Brenton.
3 1,000-yard rushers, including the quarterback.
Oh, we did. Eric Walden, senior year, all 3 of them had 1,000 yards.
That's just.
And I'll tell you though, with my own eyes, I've never seen a running back like DeBrell Smiley.
Oh, my
though.
gosh.
I remember I was in like 6th grade. We played America Sumter. You remember that?
When a guy got in the way.
Oh, no.
down
When
to the
he
goal
had
line.
like 8 or 9 on him
dragging
and still
him.
moving the whole pile in the middle of it. I've never seen that. I don't think I'll ever see that again.
Yeah, Pastor Marable, James Marable was saying you got to have more than 4, and I agree with you. Now, and I realized Joe actually called me before he posted that, and he said, "I want to run this by you, just to get your thoughts." And I said, "Joe, how do you have a Mount Rushmore of Central running backs and Joe Burns not be on it?" And he said, "Well, I can't do that." And I said, "Yes, you can. I mean, it's not bragging if you're backing it up, and I mean, Lord knows, come on, Joe."
One of the best I ever seen.
Oh my gosh,
He had the.
well, and
Between him and Johnny Cooksey, I've never seen a back break through the line of scrimmage and already have a cut. He's already seen it.
Yep.
The vision.
Yep.
It's just unbelievable.
And the thing with Johnny was he would play with 2 twisted ankles, a bum knee, hurt back, and you never could even tell it. Never lost a step.
And this week or last week, they were doing some highlights of Joe. And, man, Joe had some great runs at Tech.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Man. I tell you, I still believe with all my heart, I'm a Nole, I'm a Seminole, but the night he came to Tallahassee, if he don't break his leg, they beat Florida State.
Yep.
The game changed when he broke his leg.
Yep. No doubt.
Because they was having trouble.
Well, you start adding all those running backs up, and that is a heck of a tradition. I mean, and that's just one position now. I mean, anyway.
Yep.
Very, very
and
sporty.
you got to, like you said, Trey Brenton too. Good gracious.
Yeah.
Well, and Trey was one of those guys that now he wasn't the fastest guy on the field. He wasn't the strongest, biggest guy on the field, but when you needed 4 yards,
You got it.
he got it.
He had some backfield vision too now.
No doubt. No doubt. And was
Patient.
very patient. I was going to say he trusted those linemen in front of him.
Yep.
And he took it. He never ran out of control. He was always in control.
But when he had to burst.
Oh, he could go now.
Oh, yeah.
Just ask Woodward Academy about
Yeah,
it.
you've seen that firsthand.
Well, I want to talk just a moment. We've got volleyballs going on this afternoon on the campus here. And I know they were I think they're playing Thomasville.
They
I
are.
believe.
They are.
Yeah, and the doggone parking lot slam full.
Oh, yeah, it's big time.
And the JV and 9th grade played each other today. Jamie, tell us how that went. And that was football
it
now.
was
not
it was a good game. You know, we have a great 9th grade class. They've been circled. Other than it was more like a scrimmage today. Just, you know, iron sharpening a little bit of iron because the JV next week goes to Moultrie, and I want to say that the 9th grade team plays Moultrie too here, but it's something like or Bainbridge or somebody. But anyway, the JV guys got up on them today. It was I believe it was 52-14.
Well, you're talking 10th and 11th graders now.
But you're talking about a year in that weight room with Coach Floyd, which is an unbelievable strength and conditioning coach. Our program has grown leaps and bounds under Coach Floyd.
Conditioning wise, period.
Yeah, and Duplantis too. I don't want to leave him out. He's done a great job too.
Yep.
But
it started right there now.
It's a visible difference.
But there is a huge difference in where our program is from where it was 3 or 4 years ago. Way different.
Yep. But it's all working.
And Floyd, believe me, I have a son that comes home and he says, "Dad, I don't know if I'll be able to get up because my legs feel like jelly." I don't know. And this is at 6 o'clock.
Right.
And I don't know how they do it. We worked out. We ain't do what they do.
Yeah. Well, it's regimented. Whenever they're documenting every meal.
Oh, yeah.
To keep up with their calorie intake and their carb intake and how much protein they're getting in them.
Yeah.
At high school level? What?
Yeah,
that's
our
where
kids are growing leaps and bounds. Eli's arms and legs are it just about blows my mind. I said, dude, I don't know what you're going to look like when you're a senior, man.
Yeah, well, you ain't kidding.
He's huge.
And James Marable said that we have not had a back with a combo of size, strength, and speed like DeBrell. No question, but let me say this. I don't know anybody else that has either.
Yeah, size for sure.
Outside of Herschel Walker or Bo Jackson or something like
that.
The
only one that I seen that reminded me of him, and I don't know his name, but Dublin had a running back about 4 years ago that played
against Thomasville. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
He had 220 yards at half.
Yep, I remember.
But he was completely gassed.
Yeah.
I mean, we was wondering. We was like, dude, this guy probably won't finish the game.
Yeah.
But that kid was. I want to say they played for the state championship that year. That
they
kid
did.
Was
they did.
6'2", 240.
Yeah, I remember that. I can't remember his
and
name.
He played. I think he played defensive end, and he was a running back for Dublin. That's the only night that I ever turned around and said, dude, that looks like DeBrell Smiley. But DeBrell Smiley could just fly.
Or he could run through you, run around you, outrun you.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that night.
He was a different athlete.
And we played Bainbridge over there, and they had their free safety who ended up playing at Georgia. I can't remember his name now.
Oh, man, he was good.
That was one of those times where DeBrell got hit at the line and got turned around backwards, and DeBrell was outrunning that guy backwards and then got himself turned around and then outran him to the end zone. This is a guy who played safety at Georgia. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Anyway, okay, now we got Lakeisha was talking about Jonathan Esther being a doggone good defensive player too. And we'll get into linebackers and all that stuff as the season moves along. Let's see. Sean Badillo's asking about the center being 6'5", 320. No, that's not. He's 6'5", 330.
Yeah, he's every bit of that.
Yeah,
he is the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. He's the Mount.
Yeah.
He
is much a man. He'll talk to you in Russian.
We got some stories to tell about that stuff. Pastor Marable is asking about health-wise. I think the guys that have been banged up a little bit, from what I understand, they're going to hold them out and give them a chance to continue to heal and hopefully get everybody who is available back on the field for Cairo for next week.
Yep.
The good news is I think everybody is healing, but there's no sense in rushing it.
Yeah, there's not.
Yep. And hopefully, again, with it being Monroe, and nothing against Monroe, but our guys, the backup guys, getting that time and getting those reps, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Mm-mm. And based on what we saw against Lowndes, looked pretty doggone good.
Yep. And now I think
not a lot of drop off.
I'm not 100% sure on this. Well, maybe we could ask Coach Rogers when he calls, but we may. Cam may be of use if we needed him.
Coach Rogers told.
I don't think Pringle will. The younger Pringle, Gary Pringle, and I don't think D will be available.
Yeah.
I think those guys won't be available.
Yeah, Gary Pringle, the young freshman tight end, had a neck sprain.
He sprained his neck,
and that is a very painful thing. And it's just like a ankle sprain or a knee sprain. It just takes a long time to not hurt, and they're not going to roll the dice for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
And I agree too, Pastor. It is definitely smart to hold them out, and again, getting that depth, there is nothing wrong with that. Had a question asked on YouTube about the new siren that is at the. What's that?
Oh yeah. Keep Jake Smith off of it, please.
to give you a little, just make sure that we score a touchdon when we fire it off, because they fired it off when we had not scored a touchdown the other night.
He's so excited about that thing.
That is actually, it is an actual World War II air raid siren.
Hey, awesome. Jay Rogers.
Is Coach Rogers calling? Okay, cool.
Have we let you 30 minutes already?
Yeah.
What is wrong with us?
Just a bunch of loudmouths.
Oh, Justin Rogers, you got me?
All right, here we go, Kasey.
Here we go again.
Maybe it wasn't that daggum cord.
Maybe it wasn't. Hey, you got me, Justin? All right, we'll go speakerphone today. Hey, you got me?
What in the world, Kasey Massey?
We'll figure it out for next week.
Coach, you got me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we're hollering at you from across the room again.
All right, that's fine.
Good deal, good deal. Well, how things going? We all ready for tomorrow night?
Yes, sir. I believe so. Kids are excited. Man, they are buzzing, ready to go play this game at the Jackie's Nest.
Yeah, well, now tell everybody what to expect from Monroe. We saw him a little bit over the summer. Very athletic, apparently.
Yeah, I mean they're long and they've got some speed. They got a couple guys playing both ways. They're athletic. They try to apply a lot of pressure on defense. And the fact they're going to play a 3-4 defense and mug you up and try to man you up, cover zero, a little bit of cover two. On the edges, so they'll try to apply pressure. So we got to pick our moments there. Offensively, they'll run a spread offense, trying to get the ball in space. They're going to try different ways of screens and quick throws and quick passing game to try to get it to their guys out in space.
Well, I know that the season beginning is a big deal for you to get it started right. Is the team excited and ready to play somebody in a real game?
Oh, without question. And they're so excited and ready. And it's one of our team goals. I mean, it's been one of our team goals every year I've been here to win the opener. I mean, I just think there's something about winning that first game to get the season off right. You've been working since January for it. And so I think it's really important that you go out there and play well in your opener. So they understand that. They know that. And they are ready to go. They had a great walkthrough this morning before school, and you can tell a lot because there's a lot of new faces. It's a lot of first-year starters, and so they're excited about their opportunity.
We had some folks asking about injury updates, so I'll just ask you what the latest is on all that.
Yeah, we've got one of our old linemen that got banged up. Our starting lineman, he didn't play in the scrimmage game either. And he's going to have a long rehab with a foot issue, and he'll be out. Cam, the big DN, he could play, but we're just going to err on the side of caution with him and hold him out this week, and he'll be back next week. And then we're continuing to let D just continue to kind of let that shoulder heal and not going to rush him back either. And so we're going to hold him out as well this week in hopes that we get those guys back healthy the following week and get ready to roll.
How's Gary Pringle, Coach?
Yeah, no, Gary, good point. Gary now did play well in the scrimmage game and kind of had a weird incident at practice under one of his shoots and kind of had a strain in his neck, and so he'll be out this week too. Camden Godwin will fill his spot at tight end and has had a really good 2 weeks of practice. Camden has. Cool,
good. But Gary's going to be okay though.
Oh yeah. Gary will be fine. I expect you can probably see Gary next week against Cairo.
Gotcha. Well, I know you got a question, Jamie.
Well, Coach, I was just going to tell you, I know that I know the team's ready. I got one of the players at my house, so. But you can't tell him nothing right now, buddy. But I know as a former player, these first games mean a lot to our fans too. And I got butterflies right now. I probably wouldn't be good about one play, but Coach, I bet you go in there and move somebody for one play though.
100%. Trust me on it.
I do whatever it took. But I tell you, I think. Our fans are, boy, if they're feeling like me, boy, it's gonna be something else in the Jacket Nest tomorrow night.
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited about, being back in the Jacket Nest, first official game of the year, and getting those fans back out there, and these new faces, that are gonna be out there on the field, making these plays with the guys that were on the sideline. Feeling that love, rather.
That's right.
From our fans, But now they're going to be the ones on the field, getting that encouragement in those crucial situations from our fans. So, no, I'm excited about them to get to experience that. I'm always excited to get experience myself. There's no venue like the Jackets Nest when it's rocking.
Well, Coach, we did the Coach's Corner segment talking about the fans, and I know you kind of issued a challenge. And I want you to share that here tonight so the fans can hear it that are listening, that are coming, about being ready to blow it up tomorrow night.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. I mean, it's no different than what we've been preaching all year this year with this team. Last year's over with.
Yeah.
All right? Now, last year's over with, Jack. You had a heck of a year. And people all around the state know about you now. They know about how loud you get and how you support your team. But you got to do it this year.
Yep,
absolutely.
You got to do it again. That's the only thing that matters is right here. And you got to get off the jump. And so we want to see you there loud and proud. Bring you a horn. and have your horn ready. The first 50 people that come in every week, we had game sponsors. The first 50 going to get a complimentary horn.
Hey.
Make sure you got a horn. And so we want this thing loud and proud. Our boys love it. It's exciting. It's been great for our community, for something to rally. So we're excited about seeing you, Jacket Nation, back in the stands, cheering these boys on.
I want to tell you, Lakeisha Esther just posted that she's been testing her horn today to make sure it works.
Ain't no doubt. Now you got to go get a little toot-toot. Don't be showing up with a flat horn now.
No, you can't have that.
You got to tune that baby up.
Yeah, you can't have a flat horn. You don't want anything to do with that. That's for sure. Coach,
no, sir.
Hey, listen, man.
If you need to take it to work tomorrow, and wherever you work, just give your coworkers a little toot-toot.
A little toot-toot.
Make sure. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
And if they wearing the red and gold, give them a little toot-toot.
If you
everybody likes a little encouragement. You go encourage them on the job.
And I will say to our fans too, if you sneak up behind your co-employee, make sure you video it, because those videos where they're sneaking up and scaring folks and stuff go viral real easy, and that'd be a good way to get some publicity for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Randy, we need to do a video like that where people scared them with the horn, like that video where they play that James Brown song, I Feel Good.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, where he screams and everybody throws stuff up in the air and takes off running. That's what I'm saying. We can start our own tradition there.
After you film, you need to do that, and when you do it, you film it and send it to Randy, and we'll put a video out of all the people getting scared to the horn.
100. I got the editing down. They just send us the videos. We'll put them suckers together. We're gonna go viral. That's what we're doing.
It just sounds, when they're all blowing at the same time in the stadium, it sounds like a huge active hive.
Like a yellow jacket.
I love it,
is.
man. I love it. I love it.
Sure
It
does.
does. It has a unique buzz to it. Like that,
Absolutely.
That horn, that Boozerella, whatever it's called, it has a almost humming sound, and it does sound like a Yellow Jacket swarm.
It does.
I mean, that's what happens. Randy got into him about 2 weeks ago. He knows.
Oh, yellow jackets, not the Vuvuzelas. Good gracious alive. I'd rather have the Vuvuzelas, I promise you.
I guarantee it.
All right, Coach. Hey, listen, man, thanks for calling in, and we'll see you out there tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to see everybody back. Go Jackets.
Amen. Go Jackets. A little toot-toot. A little toot-toot.
Hey, there ain't nothing like him.
No, he's
There's
something
nothing
now.
like him.
Now, he's something now. Sometimes I don't know what that something is, but he's something now. And just as excitable and genuine. That's the thing about it. That excitement, folks, that you're hearing from that man right there, it is as genuine as it will come.
I've never seen him not that way.
Well, I've said he's like a Jack Russell Terrier that's had too many Red Bulls.
Yep.
I mean, I think he walks in at the end of the night. I'm going to ask Melissa about this one of these nights. I think he walks in, kicks his shoes off, and just collapses into a heap.
He'd have
Has
to.
to.
I mean, how in the world not? There's no such thing as winding down when you're that high strung.
Yeah.
It's either on or off. And I've never seen him off. I'm just going to tell you. Golly.
And you know, a lot going on.
Yep.
With their family.
Yep.
And we want to send all the prayers out to Melissa's dad.
Yep.
And hope he's kind of on the rebound.
Yep.
And I know that's been tough with Justin. He's in full swing mode.
Yeah.
I promise you, he's in full swing mode.
Got to back that down. And I want to send prayers out to Kasey's family, too.
Absolutely.
They got some news on Kasey's dad that's coming home from Shands tomorrow.
Mayo.
Or Mayo. That's right. I'm sorry. That's right. Yep. And going to be placed on hospice. But we'll be home, and that's the main thing. We'll be home. Yep. Let's see here what we got here. Pastor Marable saying, great personality. Oh, my gosh. That's an understatement. And Obadiah says he's going to do that tomorrow to work with his loud cup. So, I mean, the loud cup, that's a horn. It's just in a cup form. So that'll work. That'll flat work. And I know that there's a double handful of folks that have bought those cups in anticipation of trying to get them into different stadiums at different times.
I like it.
But now let me say this, and this is important for our fan base, and you guys need to understand this. The way the rules are written from the Georgia High School Association.
Which can change in the middle of a game.
But no.
We're inside.
The rule states you can't use artificial noisemakers inside in an indoor facility. So if you're in the gym, for example, and I get that because think about the noise level like we had at Rome or Marist or even in the Dome. Put that in our gym. You couldn't stand it.
Be like a jet.
You could not stand it. It physically would hurt you.
Hey, in Atlanta up there, I'll give it to him. It was loud.
100%.
It was loud.
100%. So I absolutely understand, and that's what happened at the Mercedes-Benz. It wasn't that the horns were a problem. Artificial noisemakers, as a rule, are not supposed to be allowed inside a athletic event if it's an indoor event. But outside, it is all on like Donkey Kong. So if you've got 500,000 horns that you're good. It's all good. So don't worry about that.
Well, it wasn't just a horn issue. So to tell you, we had some fans that had cowbells.
Yep.
And they were asked not to use them either. So it wasn't just the horn. So it was a bunch of them.
What our fans did, though, some of the stories, and I'm not going to incriminate anybody, of how they snuck those horns in and the different places they had those. I'm not even going to go there.
Hey, I'll do one better.
Speaking of toot, anyway.
Doing better in Atlanta. You remember we got the 15 yards for him up there?
Yeah.
And as soon as that ref turned his back, you remember that person in the stands went,
yeah, that was Mike.
As soon as he gave a flag.
That was Mike Fallon. That's Braylon Gunner's
grandfather.
Allegedly. I was told it was Mike Fallon. I don't know that for sure. That's Braylon Gunner's granddaddy.
And that was the get you some of this moment.
Not that the Fallon family would do anything like that.
Never.
How about we do our flashback and look back at and I'll be honest with you. Now, I'm a little bit selfish with this because what I'm going to be doing every week is picking out a moment from a game that has something to do with that week, maybe who we're playing or when it is in the season or something.
Okay.
So with this being the opening week, in my experience as a Yellow Jacket, which goes back
a couple of years,
just a few years, about 50 years at this point, the 1996 kickoff against Marist was a game for the ages. I mean, it literally, what you're going to see here, and we really didn't explain it as the game was going on, you're going to see Marist run a play, and they had to get 3 yards to have penetration on us, but they had to get 6 yards to get a first down. What you're going to see is the third down play. They get the 3 yards, but they didn't get the first down. They got to our 42-yard line, and then they had to punt to us. Let's see what happened.
They only need about a half a yard. There are 34 seconds left on the clock, and they're going to break your arm here, Joey. Tough to watch.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it at all. But we certainly gave them every opportunity to do it. We can only blame ourselves.
31-31 here. Third down. They'll come up with the wishbone behind Parker, and their crowd will explode if they gain half a yard. Parker looks at it. Long count. Takes it, goes to the big man, scoops through for 3.5 yards. We'll call timeout. They'll be punting from their 28, so let's see what happens. Waiting for the snap. Just don't jump off sides, guys. There's the snap. They get his foot up under it. Pretty good kick. Joe catches it at the 20. Hit. Bounces off the back 25. Joe 30. He's in the 35. And the 40's not down there with 8 seconds. We've got to get about 6 yards. You've got 6 yards. Basically 5 yards. Leonard brings him up. 2 men split left, 1
Got it
right.
playing off Joe Burns out here.
2 men behind him. Leonard takes it. Flips it across. Joe! He got it! He's in the 48! We're going to win it! It's over!
Can't believe it. They played 15 yards off of Joe Burns, who lined up at flanker over there.
Tony, they've got Joe Burns open. They flipped it to him. Marist players are laying all over the field.
If that don't get the blood boiling, I'm ready.
Got to get a sip. Something. Woo. Joe Burns. Again, if there is a Mount Rushmore of running backs for Thomas County Central, 35 got to be on there. The thing that's crazy about that particular sequence is for the first time that I remember since Joe was a freshman, they split him out at receiver. And they had gotten so used to just line up and pound with the veer. I don't know that they thought there was a possibility of us actually throwing the ball. But there was nobody within 15 yards, you heard us say it, of Joe. And when Leonard saw that, he just flipped it to him, and Joe did the rest. Unreal. Mm-hmm. The folks at Marist have to go into like tremors when they hear our name.
For sure.
I'm just saying. I mean, they got us. Sean McVay got us back in 2003.
Yep.
But every other time, we have the best record against Marist of anybody, period. And you realize that Alan Chadwick, who has been the head coach there at Marist since 1986, that's when he became the head coach.
Which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He has 83 total losses. 83 total. 8 of them are to Thomas County Central. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, fantastic football.
Who called the game with you?
That was Joey Holland.
I know. Yeah.
And Tony Herring.
Yep.
And let me say this right here real quick. A lot of you folks know Tony. Tony has been having some health issues himself and actually got some good news with it. Had some surgery done a couple of weeks back, and it has turned out really, really well. So, again,
awesome.
Very, very proud and thankful for that.
Also, if you want to get horns, I'm pretty sure Garrison Pilcher still has some.
Okay.
The last I heard.
Good.
They're selling them. I don't know how much they're selling them for, but they've also got stickers and shirts and all kinds of stuff.
Somebody's got to educate me on this cup horn.
It is.
Coach Rogers got one.
It's like a Tervis
with a horn.
Okay.
But one side you drink out of it, but the other side has a horn on it.
So you can drink some water to stay hydrated.
Yeah, while you're blowing the horn. But when you blow, it blows like a horn. But it's a cup.
It's a cup.
I might have to see somebody's horn.
You probably wear tomorrow night.
Just look up. I think they're called loud cups.
Yeah.
Is what they're called. Mm-hmm. You look that up and you'll be able to find it. Just unbelievable.
Or just bring them all tomorrow. That way I can see it real good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to just bring Jamie Majors, let him be loud for me.
I hope y'all enjoyed that flashback, though. And next week, we will find some great moments against Cairo. And there's a lot of them. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Fantastic series there. Let's see here. Loudcup.com, Ken Hortman says. And we appreciate Ken being on here.
Yep.
Let's see here, guys. What we want to talk about. We've talked about.
Hey,
go ahead.
Do you have some updates from like what sports are playing today? I know softball played today.
I have not heard. That's what I was going to say.
I have not got an update on scores. I haven't heard. But
if you have any updates, and we talked about the JV and ninth grade football game, but if you've got softball scores,
it should be. I think it's JV is playing today,
and then volleyball, against Thomasville.
Yep.
Max
Prep doesn't have any updates, so I'd give it to you.
Yeah, just share those if you know what those are. Let's talk about just a little bit the games that we were talking about with the pick'em stuff, because there's some big ones. And now we're not going to talk a whole lot about them because we want to talk about Yellow Jacket stuff. But, of course, all of us are football fans, and we keep up with what's going on with the other programs. Some of those games are as big as any in the country, I would think. Thomasville Brooks is an interesting matchup because you've got a brand-new coach there in Brooks County.
We'll start off on the right foot.
Yep.
Yeah, done a great job.
Yep.
From what I've heard, I've got several friends that are their athletic coordinators, and they've done fantastic job so far from what I've heard. So.
Yeah, everybody's been very impressed with the new coaching staff there, and clearly defensively they must be pretty sporty because holding Tift County scoreless in Tift County Stadium.
They got a couple big guys on their team.
But here's the difference to me with this one, guys. Thomasville has right at 30 seniors. And right at 100 players.
Yep.
So you're talking depth-wise, a huge difference.
Oh, for sure.
And with this being one of those August games, where it is going to be. I mean, you're going to feel like a licked gummy bear by the time you just step out of your car and walk to the stadium. Much less trying to play. Yeah, much less trying to play. I think to me that will be the difference in that football game. I think Brooks will fight them. I think that
for sure.
I think you'll have a close game probably for 3 quarters, but I think the depth was that.
You can't underestimate Brooks at all.
No, especially playing in the Rat Palace.
But the thing about it, Randy, is you can have all that depth you want, but as long as you hang around, you always can find that little burst that you need.
Oh yeah, another little tidbit.
But I think if Thomasville will just go play their game and put a little space in between the game, and I think they'll be fine.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say all those kids from Brooks County though. I mean, they're used to playing 2 ways over there. I mean, they done it last year when we played them all night long, no matter the situation.
It's a point of pride for them.
Yeah, for sure, and
absolutely,
as it should be.
As long as they don't give up.
Oh, they won't.
They ain't gonna give up.
They're not gonna give up. You don't have to worry about that.
They won't.
Yeah, and there's a lot of buzz on, no pun intended,
I think it'll be
Facebook about that one.
I think it'll be a great game.
I do too. I do too. I think Thomas will probably wins though 14 or so before it's over with, just because if the numbers are even. If you are a double-A team or a large single-A team, which is what Thomasville is now, and you've got 30 seniors, that's very unusual.
Very.
And I think that's just going to be a big factor there. So my pick, I'd pick the Dogs. Close game, but I think they win it solidly in the end. Any different thoughts there?
I might
have a different one since I live over there.
Oh, that's right. You live in Brooks
That's
County. And he's got to make sure nobody
the Trojans.
You picking the
Trojans? Oh yeah, I gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Okay.
You don't want to get egged.
Well,
I hope it's still going on tomorrow when I head home. I hope.
Yeah.
Stop by there and get a free half quarter or something.
Well, that is a 7:30 kick over there too.
Okay.
So usually that's an 8:00 kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets you home a lot earlier.
So game number 2 is.
Coffee Bainbridge, but I was going to, Brian texted me with his pick. He picked Thomasville as well.
Okay.
The Veal.
Yeah, that's Bryan Davis, by the way, sending his picks.
Get you some of that.
We got to all of us need to get one of those shirts.
Yeah.
Just unveil it.
Just with the Brian on our shirt.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Or maybe like you get 1/3 of his head, I'll get 1/3, and then Bryce can get the other. We just stand together to make one Brian.
Like the guys do the.
Yeah, that's it with the gloves. That's right.
Get you some of that.
Coffee and Bainbridge. That's intriguing. From what it sounds like, Coffee has not lost a lot as far as what they had last year. Now, the big running back that was kind of the horse for him last year graduated. What's he?
He was good now.
Brian says it's almost like he's here with us. Bainbridge with a new head coach, and I think every program goes through a transition. It just happens whenever you have a coaching regime change, or again you graduate a huge class. There is a transition there, and normally it's not real pretty. I mean, that's just the reality. A good example is Lowndes County right now. I mean, Lowndes County is a program in transition. Athletes are there, and it's not a reflection on the quality of the coaching or the quality of the players. It's just that you've got a lot of new that has to come together, and that doesn't just happen at the snap of a finger. So I think Coffee goes in with a large advantage there.
I do too. It's gonna be hard. I think it's gonna be hard for Bainbridge to win. Not saying they can't, but it's.
I wonder where that's being played.
I think
Centennial Field.
Yeah, I think it's
Bainbridge. It is at Bainbridge. Okay. Yeah. Well, then Bainbridge, that'll help them a little bit. I mean, I
still my pick.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Coffee.
Yeah,
by 21.
Yeah,
mine too.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and then we've got Warner.
What you think, Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
He picked Coffee as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of coffee, right there, this is a caramel latte, and this thing is good. I'm not going to sleep probably for the next 13 hours as a result of it.
I don't want you to sleep for 2 days at least.
And I don't. That's true.
You'll pull an all-nighter for tomorrow?
No.
I won't sleep a latte.
Hey, Brian commented War Seagull.
The war seagull. You remember the seagull that attacked everybody?
He may be there.
If that seagull shows up, If Bainbridge folks are watching, and that seagull that attacked our guys last year shows up, I want video.
Hey, like the guy us, you better close. If you're in the press box, you better close the window up there.
Dago Bryan was trying to hold stuff up to bring him up there too.
I have never seen nothing like that.
course.
I kept seeing him fly around, and then y'all started talking about it, and I was like, and then at the end of the game, I think he landed on
Malachi. Landed on the shoulder. Yeah.
Malachi says, "You got to come to Auburn."
You're coming with me to Pitt. That's it. Jamie, of course, was trying.
By the way, you mentioned Malachi.
Yeah.
Malachi's had a great camp.
Yeah, he's number 2 on the depth chart now, tied in.
Man, but I wouldn't expect anything other.
Well, let me say
Malachi's
this
just
too.
a great kid.
Let me say this too. There's something to be said for a South Georgia guy going up there and playing for like a Pitt or a Penn State or something. Nothing against any of those players, but it's different. It's different. I remember when Terry White went up to Pitt after he left here, and he was like an All-American defensive back, punt returner and everything for Pitt, and the coaches said, this guy's a little different, and I think Malachi fits that too.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, number 3, Warner Robins and Lee.
See this one.
I think it's at Lee. I
Feel like that it's Lee's to lose.
I do too.
But
Lee
after
struggled.
those great daggum Warner Robins teams, they just kept losing so many seniors every year, and finally it caught up with them.
Well, they went 9-4 last year. I mean, they made the quarterfinals last year, so that they weren't chopped liver.
That'll be a good football game.
Yeah. And the thing is, Lee County's hard to put a finger on. Now, of course, they've got Usmani Chroma, who is the best running back in the state of Georgia. I don't give a rip.
Might be the country.
I don't give a rip who else has got what. The kid is special. And he could be the valedictorian of his class, too.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're talking.
He's awesome.
Come on now.
Student.
He's got like a 4.2.
4.2 GP. What are you talking? Seriously?
And I talk to people that are in that program up there. Eli plays a lot of cornhole, and he sees a lot of different people that play in the leagues. They said that he is so good as just a person.
Yep, just very humble.
I think he was here for our scrimmage.
He was.
I think him and Cam got some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
That I told you. I said I could not believe that a picture was taken, and Usmani is as big as Cam.
Yeah.
I could. That blew me away.
Yeah.
I said, "There's no way that guy's that big."
Well, Brian Holtz is a good friend of mine who's an assistant principal there at Lee County, and he says that everything you hear about Usmani Chroma is 100% accurate. He is just as good a young man as he is a football player. Yeah. And if that's the case, you're talking about top of the heap, period. But they struggled big time in that scrimmage game that they had. Now, again, I realize it was a scrimmage, and I'm sure that Coach Fabrizio was trying a bunch of different stuff and trying to focus on different people. Chroma, I think Usmani had like 9 carries, but he had a fumble in that game. And did not dominate it by any means. Now, Carver Columbus is not a bad football team. They're pretty good, very sporty. But I think there were a lot of folks that were expecting Lee County to kind of walk away with that, and that did not happen. I think Lee County probably – I wonder where that's being played.
I think it is at Lee. I'm pretty sure.
What do you think?
I think it was I think it was at Warner Robins last year.
Yeah, I'm about 80% sure it's at Lee. I mean, I could be wrong, but
yeah. Let me.
But that'll be a good ball game. I really feel like maybe Lee's got a little bit. They'll be a little over the top.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it'll be huge.
I tell you, it's hard. It's hard to bet against Usmani because I mean, if they go out there, they take a 2-score lead. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to pound you with that football and take control of the clock, and you're done.
Yeah, Lee's at home. And that makes a difference too.
Yeah, they're going to tear your heart out. If they get a couple scores on you, they're going to rip your heart out.
So
because they'll be big up front.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They always got big linemen. I think they've got. I know Usmani's awesome, but they brought a defensive lineman in from Gadsden.
4-star.
And a receiver.
3-star.
That are supposed to be really good.
2 3-star receivers.
And my hat's off to them. Not that they go out there and recruit kids, or I don't know if it happened that way. I don't know. But I know those 2 kids showed up there, and I know Usmani probably said, "Thank you
Yep.
because he does so much.
Yeah,
for
he's
them.
got a big he takes
does
a lot
for
of the workload.
them, you know.
Yeah.
And if you touch the ball 50 or 60 times or 30, 40 times, man, how many chances do you have to get hurt?
Yeah,
I'm
that
looking.
adds up.
I was looking at stats from last year when we played them. So they threw the ball 18 times for 104 yards last year. So I mean,
Well, I knew.
let's see if-
I went to the Lee County Colquitt game earlier in that season last year, and their quarterback really struggled. It was just like, man, he just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said right then, I said, whoa.
Yeah.
If he don't get no better, which he did, he got a lot better.
He got a lot
he
better.
got
Yeah,
to us.
absolutely.
But I thought that we would be okay.
Yep.
But you would have to shut Ismani down.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not going to do that,
And
though.
You just got
No,
to
you're
hope
not.
that you do enough to win the game.
And I think Justin Rogers probably said it best last year whenever we played them, when we asked him about it in the Coach's Corner segment. He said, you don't shut down a player like that. You contain him as best you can.
That's right.
But you're not going to shut him down. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ran the ball 40 times against us last year.
And he probably ran it 35.
Oh, I guarantee you.
Yeah, no doubt. But
They use him everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He catches it.
Yep.
He,
they put him in the slot.
oh, yeah.
They put him out at wide receiver.
I don't blame him.
No.
I don't blame him. But when he starts tapping that head,
Yeah.
Yep.
you're in a good spot.
Yeah. My pick's Lee.
I picked Lee.
I pick Lee.
Yep. And I think it'll end up being, again, a solid score. But Warner Robins is a proud program.
Them demons.
And they're again not chopped liver by any means. They'll give them a fight for a while, but I think again, if Lee doesn't turn the ball over a bunch, which I think was a problem in that scrimmage, then they'll be fine. All right, now these two, Carrollton and Woodward Academy.
This is Juju's last hurrah.
The quarterback for Carroll is Juju Griffin, I believe is his name. Is that right? Is it Juju Griffin? Juju something. Can't remember. But I just know Juju.
He's awesome. Juju
Lewis. They have been talking about him literally since he was a freshman.
Yeah, he's bad to them on.
Yeah, they got a few other good players out there too that are D1 for sure.
Absolutely.
Woodward lost a lot off of that team.
They still
from last
got
year.
they still got a lot of the
I know-
NFL coaches'
I know
sons or player sons.
They'll and of course they're a private school. They can go get pretty much who they want.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If I'm betting on that one, I'm betting on.
We may have broke their wheel.
Well,
Last year.
not only that, but I mean, Carrollton's very good. They're very good.
Yeah.
And anytime you got a lot of turnover, which I don't think Carrollton had, they will step on the field, I think, with a little bit of advantage now.
I think so.
So if I had to pick there, I'd pick Carrollton.
That's
I'll
what I'm
pick
gonna go with too. Brian picked Lee and Carrollton. Too,
Okay.
So.
Okay.
All right. This one.
See if we differ on this one here.
This one here. Let me just go ahead and start this one.
This
off.
is
I know
Milton and Buford.
I know that when you say Buford, everybody just says, whoa.
The Wolves.
The Wolves, But let me tell you, Milton wins the state championship against an undefeated Walton team.
Yep.
And brings 18 of 22 players back.
Very similar to what we did
And
between
they
96
lower
and 97.
in classification.
And dropping class. Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know what to even say. And that they say the quarterback at Milton is every bit as good as that Juju Lewis. In fact, he is the number one quarterback in the state of Georgia from what everybody's
I
saying.
can't remember his name either right now.
I can't either.
I know it's not. I thought it was
Well, what you just
Nico or
what you just said though, Jamie, is about the number of people that they brought back.
is unbelievable.
Well, for this early in the season, that makes a huge difference. Again, continuity wise, Luke Nickel.
I knew it was
Luke
something Nickel.
Nickel.
The
Yep.
last name.
And you're right. I mean, he is ranked as the number one quarterback right now in the state of Georgia. He is. He's very, very talented.
Kind of eye opening because Juju's kind of held that role for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Luke Nickel is committed to Miami.
Yep.
And he's 6'2", 205.
And really looked good in that state championship last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm picking Milton. I mean, they're not ranked in the top 5 in every poll nationally by accident.
Oh yeah.
And Buford is a very, very good program, but I mean, Milton. It's hard to pick against a team that wins the state championship and brings back 18 of 22.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going with Buford
Are you?
because I think they got a burr under the saddle.
Something to prove?
And I think that everybody's kind of sleeping on them. If you can sleep on Buford, I don't know how.
It's kind of hard to do.
But I think that a lot of people are probably looking at that Milton team, which I don't think that bodes good for our class.
Yeah.
Because if Buford goes in there and something happens and they embarrass Milton, Milton will have something to prove all year.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you're danged if you do and danged if you don't. So I think that will be a great ball game. How ESPN does not have that as their game.
Yeah.
Or ESPN2 with how many?
21.
21
D1 guys.
D1 players. If you wanted to showcase a football game, that is the one.
Yeah.
Bryan Davis said he had a loot nickel for every time he's heard that.
I hear you, big guy.
Only Bryan Davis.
Yeah.
Only
Get you
Albert.
some of that.
Brian picked Milton. I'm going to go with Buford as well.
Okay, so we're split there. There we go. All right. So the big daddies here on the end are going with Buford, and Brian and I will go Milton. Casey, you got any
How
thoughts?
about you, Casey?
You gonna be the tiebreaker? He says I
Don't
don't.
look at me.
He
I have-
said
I don't know.
Milford.
He said I have no thought.
He said he'll go
It's
with
gonna be a
Milford.
good game. So, I mean, either team could come out with it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be a good game by the end of it. So
Oh, man.
Yep.
that'll be the game to watch.
Well, and
Keep an eye on.
the good news for both teams is you get it out of the way. I mean, you play it very, very early, big, high-profile thing, but then you can flush it and move on. And, of course,
Absolutely.
if you've got to lose a game, you want to lose it as early as you can.
But you tell me how the state of Georgia let this game not be played on a Thursday night
Yeah, I agree.
to kick off and showcase to Georgia high school.
Mm-hmm.
We let that one get away.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
You're
Let
right.
that one get away.
You're right. Well, guys, it is 8 o'clock.
How?
Just like that, man.
Man, work don't go by this fast.
I can't imagine why.
We'd be in business if it did.
I can't imagine why.
Oh,
Well, so tomorrow night, let's kind of give you a rundown of what's going on. First off, we will have the tailgate show, Yellow Jacket Tailgate Show, the award-winning Yellow Jacket Tailgate Show. Will start at 5:30, and that's going to be cool. A lot of really, really good interviews from inside the high school. Jaden Rubo has been right in the middle of it. Jaden's doing the football talk segment with myself and Josie Walden. He also interviewed Okoye Rawls, which is really, really cool. And that'll go until about 6:30-ish, and then we will be on live at the stadium around 6:30 or so with countdown to kickoff. And then about 7, we'll have Coach's Corner with head coach Justin Rogers, and then 7:15 we'll have your starting lineups, and 7:30 we'll kick it off.
Yep.
Now, one cool thing I do want to mention, at 6:55 tomorrow night, we will have the first 2 inductees into the Thomas County Schools Sports Hall of Fame.
Awesome.
And I've had a lot of folks asking about what that is. It's this simple. I'm going to use this example. Ray Torrey Newkirk. Ray Torrey Newkirk was arguably the best defensive football player we have ever had at Thomas County Central High School. And anybody that saw him play would not disagree with. Now, there may be others like we're talking about, like Sean and others. There may be some that you can enter into the argument, but nobody's going to say anybody was better than Ray Torrey Newkirk.
Absolutely.
There are 2 state championship years, 96 and 97, that are on that state championship board inside the stadium that would not be there without Ray Torrey Newkirk. Ray Torrey Newkirk was not able to go on and play in college. So his football career ended when his high school career ended. If the county system doesn't honor and somehow or another memorialize, not memorialize, that's not the word I'm looking for, but you know what I'm saying, to honor a guy like Ray Torrey Newkirk, who's going to do it? And there are a ton of folks.
Yep.
You got a bunch of fantastic athletes that came through Magnolia High School, which was, of course, the black high school for the county before integration.
Bucks, baby.
The Buccaneers, where Coach Charlie Ward Sr. was the head coach. Then you got a bunch of athletes that came through pre-integration Central that were fantastic athletes. If we don't recognize and honor those athletes, who's going to do it? And they deserve to be remembered. Period. End of story. And not just football. I mean, you got baseball guys. You got basketball players that have come through. Track folks. I mean, all the sports. So tomorrow night, the first 2 inductees will be honored. Johnny Yearby, who was Coach Ward's quarterback at Magnolia, who was not only the starting quarterback, He also played on defense. He kicked. He was a member of the student council. He was on the National Honor Society and chosen as best all around by his classmates. Other than that, he didn't do anything.
Dang.
I mean, that's pretty sporty.
That's pretty sweet.
And whenever you got Coach Charlie Ward Sr. saying, I enjoyed coaching that guy because every time I watched him play, it reminded me of me. Okay, I don't need to hear anymore.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep. And Johnny Yearby was one of the first people. Coach Ward was in on the process of choosing some of these names, and it's one of the first names he mentioned. And then Herb Christopher. Herb graduated from Magnolia back in the 70s before integration. Herb was a star player for Magnolia, but he was the first player, the first athlete from the county drafted into the pro leagues, and he played in the NFL and played for 4 years for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You reckon any kin folks to
Man,
Joe Christopher and
let me tell you,
Red Christopher?
he is Joe Burns and Adam Choice's uncle.
Wow.
So the DNA doesn't lie.
Is good.
That's pretty good. So those two gentlemen, very deserving, and we are going to start. And what's going to be cool about this thing eventually, in the new multipurpose building that's being built on campus, Kasey's going to be doing this. He knows about it. We are going to be putting video screens in the hallways that will have the images of these ladies and gentlemen that are inducted into this thing that will be rotating constantly with their name and the information about them. So when the kids are walking the hallways, they're going to be learning about their own heritage and their own history, which is extremely cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Can't go wrong.
No, well, the success we've got now are built on the shoulders of those folks.
Yep.
And, we talked about, and we're going to give them plaques tomorrow night. And, by the way, they'll be the honorary captains. They're going to go out and do the coin toss with the team tomorrow night.
That is awesome.
Yep. But you put plaques on the walls, high school kids are not going to stop and look at that stuff.
Nah.
But you put it on the screen,
Yeah.
guess what?
They all about it.
You hope they're not tardy for class because they're going to be sitting there going, wait. So that's the plan. This thing is going to be housed inside that multipurpose building. And let me say this to our fans too. I had this past week, our plan is to have some display cases with historical memorabilia associated with our athletic programs, going all the way back to Magnolia, going all the way back to the early days of Central, displayed for, if the kids want to see it, it'll be there. A gentleman, it's Clay Stanlin's brother-in-law, brought me a packet, and you saw that stuff in my office. It is pristine condition newspapers from the 92 state championship the day after. All of the car tags, never been used. All kinds of stuff that he brought. So if you've got stuff, and there are probably no telling when you start digging in people's closets, the stuff that's hidden, that's what we need. And don't let it just sit there gathering dust. Let's find a way to get it inside that school so that the kids can see it again and learn from it. And
Even if you loan it to
yeah,
us.
I mean, you don't have to just say, here, take it and do whatever you want to. If you want to loan it, I mean, but to me, those things are important. And that's a part of the DNA of who all of us are. And to me, it's important that those young people see those names, understand what those people did, and the price that those folks paid to get us to where we are today. Flat out.
Absolutely.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Before we go, have y'all been out there to look at the field? It looks fantastic.
Oh,
They
my gosh, the
painted it
football
today.
field, yes.
Man, it's amazing. Hey, and
I have
everything
not
is
seen it.
fixed. Knock on wood.
Yeah, all the
Ish.
sound
Most
stuff
of it
and
should
all
be
is
fixed.
working.
All the clocks are working again.
Awesome,
We got all
man.
that fixed this
Awesome.
week.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
know that
So
field
we should
team's
have-
working hard because I can see where
Man,
they're out there at 5 in the morning.
They came out today. They painted it, mowed it, and they just did the TC this afternoon.
Man, that's awesome.
Richard Potter and Alex and Jake's whole team. I mean, they start. So after the game on
And
Friday,
Ronnie, too, the little,
Ronnie,
computer,
too.
the little robot.
So as soon as the game was over on Saturday morning, they were watering it, trying to get it.
Yeah,
dragging
sand, fill the
it.
holes.
Yeah, they put a ton of sand in there. They brought in a couple.
Yeah,
literally, they brought in a couple dump trucks, from what I understand.
Well, let me say this too, and I think this needs to be said. The field at Thomas County Central, when it is right, it is as good as you're going to find at any college.
Or better, because we brought in a guy from the FSU.
Yep.
And
Well,
he's
he
the one
was,
that told.
I thought he was
There was one from Florida.
the turf guy from ABAC, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, that's where all that turf
Jordan.
originates.
Okay.
There's
So
a
they
turf farm.
They brought in a guy that did FSU's maintenance.
Okay.
That does their field, and told us what we need to do to get ours perfect. And Matt Dukes and his team,
Oh, my
and Jake's
gosh.
team, and all that has done a
It's
job,
awesome,
especially all that rain we got.
Well, the thing
week
is,
ago.
Casey, all that rain we had, we talked about this
Yeah.
Friday night whenever we were doing the live stream, which, by the way, the game will be available
Will be
on
live.
live stream, and we're going to start it
A little early.
6:50 or so the folks at home can watch that little induction ceremony thing for Herb and Mr. Yerby. But the field last Friday after the scrimmage, we were all terrified it was going to be torn. It held up really well. And now you look at it now, you can't even tell a game was played. I mean, it is in perfect, impeccable
it is
condition.
Ain't
It's
nothing
ready.
like some good grass.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah,
Big time.
it's ready.
We will also, too, be on the air inside the stadium on 88.5 FM. In fact, we were talking to Eddie Simmons at supper. Eddie, of course, works for Georgia Farm Bureau, and he was saying that he was going to use his phone with an app to be able to listen to the radio broadcast, which, of course, you can do that. But there's
tuned-in radio.
Well, there's a delay, though. It's like 4 or 5 second delay. If you've got just a little AM/FM headset that you can get most anywhere,
Lowe's.
big lots or someplace for like $5 or $6. 88.5 FM inside the stadium. It's instantaneous. I mean, it's real time. It's a little radio transmitter that you can listen to inside the stadium. And you can also listen to WTUF.
Yeah, their website. That's how.
106.3, or you can stream it. But there's a little bit of delay if you're in the stadium. Now, if you're not in the stadium, it really doesn't matter.
No.
Because a delay doesn't matter because you don't see what's actually happening. Right. But if you're inside the stadium, you could listen on 88.5 and you're listening to us live. Now, you may get some colorful commentary during the breaks. There's
quiet.
There's a moment of silence there because we have to be very aware of the fact that thing is still on. God, never mind.
Yeah, hey guys, it's rolling.
Don't forget your
I want
live.
to say today when I was at the field watching the JV game and ninth grade game.
Which, by the way, Pastor Mirabel was asking about that. It was 52-14 JV over ninth grade, but the ninth grade acquitted themselves well.
Absolutely.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But bumped into Amari Stevens, and I told him, I said, hey, buddy, I'll talk about you tonight because you're very worth talking about.
Number 24, by the way, on defense.
He is, I've said it all along, last year. Taiwan Christopher was what we called our defensive unicorn. Yep. He can cover. He can be a defensive lineman. He can
whatever you need him to do.
Anything he needs. Most valuable player in the state championship game against Woodward. He is the new
Taiwan.
I'm going to call
unicorn
for our defense.
And that is a compliment.
He's going to be able to do a lot of stuff.
Yep.
And I was asking him. I said, "Man, how you feeling?" And he almost couldn't talk. He is so ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
These guys are going to have tough time sleeping because, we came off a really feel good year.
Yep.
That
reset the standard.
A lot of those years, I didn't miss many practices when we were winning all those state championships in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I seen the wear, not only on the players but on the coaches.
Wear and tear on them.
When you get to 14 and 15 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, everybody's hurting, but you're sucking it up because we need one more game.
Yep.
But that bunch would have been just as happy to go play one more week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
From last year?
It was just.
Oh, no question.
Would have preferred it.
Yeah, no question.
They would have went and played anybody that wanted to play.
Yeah, no question.
They would have stayed the next day and played the winner of the big.
No, they might have been tired. Yeah, they could have been tired.
Oh, yeah.
That's a grueling.
For sure.
Well, I'll share this with you, and I've never shared this with anybody. We come back after the Christmas break. I'm at the high school, and Trey Brenton, trying to remember who else, Caleb Anderson, couple of the seniors found me because I was in the broadcasting room and said, "Mr. Young, what's the chance of like ESPN or somebody asking us to come play a game?" And I said, "Man, seriously?" They said, "Yeah, we want to. We want to.
Valdosta got to play the +1 that year.
Well, that I think is where that was coming from.
I got you.
And I walked off thinking these guys are ready to suit up right now.
They wasn't ready for it to be over. That's how good a time they had.
That was a good group right there.
Yep, no doubt.
That's how much continuity that they had, and that coaching staff. I can't say enough about.
Oh man,
the coaching staff that we have Um,
Well, they're
I'm so proud my son has the opportunity to be coached by these coaches.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It is just a blessing.
Yeah, and they got them trained right, too. There's not a moment too big for that group last year, and probably not going to be for this year either.
Once they get their confidence under them, they get their wheels on them, they're going to be fine. And I want to say this, and we've talked about this privately. There is something about Justin Rogers' system. It is amazing to me that the quality of the assistant coaches that are wanting to be a part,
Want to be here.
that want to be here.
Absolutely.
That's unusual. That is unusual. And there's something, and I can't say specifically what it is. It's just the whole. But there is something about Justin Rogers' system that other coaches look at and go, I want a piece of that. That's special and very unusual in this day and time. Very unusual. Yeah. But anyway, tomorrow night it will kick off, and we are excited to get it going. It will be on live stream, which will start about 6:50 or so. So if you're going to sit at home and you want to fix you a bucket of popcorn and sit there in the AC and watch it, you can do that as well.
If you want to build a fire and then like Randy's brothers and all, they get around on the tailgate.
Truck up.
Hey,
It's still too early for even some of them.
I know. Now I don't know if there'll be fires going on, but
Now, they'll be doing something, though. I can guarantee you that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it on Egg and Butter Road. But anyway, we are excited about it and hoping again for good things and hope to see everybody out there. Bring your horns, bring your noisemakers, and let's have a good time. Jamie, thank you, brother.
man,
As
that's
always.
awesome.
Bryce?
And
Yes, sir. Thank you.
just
Dairy
wanna say
Queen,
again,
yes.
Greg
Yes, sir.
and his staff at Dairy Queen, go by and get you
Some of that.
some of that because there ain't nothing left in that.
Brian, comment.
But hot eats, cool treats. Go by and get some. Let Greg Davis and his staff treat you to
Won't be
a
disappointed.
blizzard
There is nothing that cools hot weather like Dairy Queen.
like a Dairy
After
Queen.
today, it was nice.
Yeah, you were outside and in it all day.
Outside, yeah.
How was your blizzard, by the way?
Oh, fantastic.
It didn't last long. What happened?
We didn't make it to the show.
I looked over there and he was trying to put his up.
It's gone.
I didn't see the
I did-
cup. I think he ate the cup,
After
too.
today, I needed the sugar. We've been
I-
outside trying to get the softball and tennis court all internet and came.
Oh
some-
man,
Out in that heat. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
awesome.
Okay.
It was awesome night. I don't know where this hour goes, but
Well, thanks to everybody tuning in,
Yeah.
and thanks for your questions and comments. And we will be back here next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, 7 o'clock for the fourth SwarmCast, where we will review the Monroe game and we will preview the K-Row syrup makers and the battle for the bucket. Looking forward to that.
we need to keep that thing here.
See
Kasey.
y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you to y'all, man. Thank you for being here and helping out. We're going to get out of here, folks. Y'all have yourself a good Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow night at the Jacket's Nest and see you on the radio as well.